Welcome back. You join us at Bangor Marina, where we were largely wondering.
New radio is here, so it's time to bring ourselves into the 21st century. Step 1, remove the old radio. It lived there. I've taken the front off. Now I need to take this off. Ta-da! Huey is helping, of course. Oh, after another little haircut. Sometimes you've just got to hit it with a hammer. I tried this soft route for about 25 minutes. I've grazed my knuckles, cut my fingers. The hammer worked. Connector. Old connector is completely different to the new connector. Electrical update. So yes, in 1995 I think ISO connectors were invented for car stereos, so that connecting car stereos was easy and standard, but we're not falling within that because the boat wiring is not a car. Therefore I haven't been able to find a lead on the internet which basically would allow me to connect the boat's wiring directly to an ISO connector to then connect to the two stereo ISO connectors. Yeah, so I've been in rabbit holes for quite a long time, and I'm resigned to basically stripping all of these wires. This was the connector to the actual stereo, so stripped all of those and stripped all the boat wires using this crimper thing that I bought in Aldi just in case I thought I might need it, but before I set off. And then I am going to use heat shrink solders to actually bind all of those wires together. So we're quite a few to do, but I think this should do it. And if it does, I will have definitely done a thing and I'll be very, very happy. Almost 4 hours later. Been quite frustrating, I'll be honest. It turns out that the red wire needs to go not just to the red wire but to the yellow wire as well. Black wire has gone to the black wire, and I'd been going red to red, yellow to yellow, black to black, and apparently the red needs to go to both the yellow and the red for these modern radios. Please don't be alarmed at the state of that connection. I am literally proof of concept at the moment to ensure that it is a fix. I will get a proper connection in there once I've had a few cans of lager, actually. But for now, it works. You can't imagine how pleased I am to see that. It's the next day, but things are connected and it's still working. So now time for the final installation. New stereo installed. Oh, that was easy. So I think if I did that again, I could probably do it in about 15 minutes. So I think it just goes to show the power of if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you definitely don't know. So I guess what it also shows as well is the power of knowing someone who does know. So in this instance, again, my mate Stu from Padstow, who I met in Padstow from SV Cormorant, has been on WhatsApp exchanging messages with me. I'm sorry if I peppered you with questions, but honestly couldn't have done it without that help, because who knew that, you know, you had to put one wire to two. I would never have worked that out. I just assumed colours go with colours and so on and so forth. So thanks, Stu, again for your help.
Okay, here we go. We've been waiting in Bangor for some bad weather to roll through. Here is the bad weather. So we're getting our jobs done and having nice walks with Huey, but ooh, it's going to be a noisy night. I can already hear the halyards rattling. There's going to be some squeaky lines. Oh, but can't complain. We're tucked up in a nice marina. Got lovely warm showers. And Rob's just put a new stereo in so we can get some music on tonight, and rather than have sundowners, we will have storm chasers. Oh yeah.
Whenever we get anywhere new, one of the things that's great to do is to have a wander around and see if you can find butchers, fishmongers, greengrocers, all the like little places that serve local quality food. Today I stumbled upon a fishmonger and poulterer, which I'd never seen before. So a fishmonger that also sells chicken and duck and stuff like that as well. So pretty good. Looking at the selection of fresh fish and stuff they had, I am from North Shields, I know my fish, and the freshest fish they had in by far was some rainbow trout. Clear eyes, really black eyes, no kind of cloudiness and stuff in there as well. Didn't smell of fish, not slimy or anything like that. That's fresh fish. So I got 2 whole rainbow trout, and I've spent the last half an hour filleting them and then pin boning them. Anyone that's done that to rainbow trout knows that it takes quite a long time, but it's worth it. And tonight we'll be having them really simply. So just olive oil, salt, pepper, and then some minced garlic, and then some slices of lemon on top, and then baked in the oven for 15 minutes, something like that. Served with sauteed potatoes, green beans, broccoli, and a glass of white wine.
The finished product. That looks so good. Good morning. It's day 1 after the heavy winds. We've got like 3 days of it, but night 1 has passed largely without incident really. About 9 o'clock, Rob came up to check our lines and called me up to have a look at something, and a boat just on the next pontoon, it's Genoa, had started to unfurl, and it was just getting battered around a little bit, and before Rob could even say should we ring the Marina or should we just get over there was already 4 guys legging it down the pontoon, and literally almost as soon as they got on the boat, because I thought they'd have to pull a bit more Genoa out and then roll it away again, but they just lowered the whole thing, so I need to learn how to do that in case something happens with ours, but ours is wrapped up very nice and tight, so I don't think that's going to happen.
This is a furling line, or more specifically a furling line that has now been discontinued, if I can say it properly. It was in fact discontinued in 1999, so the handle is broken, you can't buy a spare, so we're going to have to upgrade it. Step 1, get the thing off the deck. Step 1 completed. Step 2, clean that deck area down, and clean the screws down, and then get ready to mount the new one. Voila! Completely attached to the deck and working, so happy with that. We have a furling line clutch again, which is much easier to operate. I think we've been without one for about a month now, so we've just been having to use cleats and stuff at the back, at the stern. But yeah, that's really good, and that was actually quite an easy job, believe it or not. Time will tell whether or not we've done it correctly. We need it to cure for a couple of days, and then what we need is some torrential rain, or I can just run a hose pipe over it just to see if we've got any leaks. It's pretty much the only thing that can go wrong with it. But if that is the case, then we just retake it off again and rebed it. So yes, happy with that.
Yesterday we met some fellow northeasterners who are sailing around the UK, but they're going the other route, and our paths just happened to cross in Bangor. We're going clockwise, they're going anti-clockwise, and we're probably going to end up back in Newcastle at about the same time, so that was really nice. Just sort of talked about what route they've been doing, where they've been, where they enjoyed, and vice versa. They're off to Peel and we've just left Peel. But after chatting with Rob and Lynn, the Sailing McRae's, shout out, I got struck down with a migraine, so I pretty much just stayed in the aft cabin all day in the dark, wanting to claw my own brain out. Hi. Oh, have you all come to see me? Am I allowed past? I don't have any food, I'm sorry. Why are you following me? Boat mail.
Hey, oil filter. Gaskets for the thermometer. brass end cap for the heat exchanger, secondary fuel filter and gaskets, gasket for the main exchanger end, pressure cap for the top of the engine, anode, a zinc anode, and a thermostat.
Woohoo! We have friends. Hello, duckies. What can I do for you today? You come looking for some dinner? Yui, be nice. Be nice, these are our guests.
You don't like kale?
I checked Google and they can eat kale.
Can they?
Yeah.
They just don't want to.
They're like fussy children, don't like their greens.
I think this is the mother, isn't it?
It might be.
And these are the little juveniles. Did you not bring the greens?
Yui. Don't be rude.
It's okay. Can't exactly tell her off. She is a terrier.
You trying to protect us?
She's not happy. So, of an evening, you're enjoying a glass of nice red wine after a dinner in the beautiful sunshine, and you think to yourself, my winch handle pockets are really not in a very good condition.
Ew.
See what I mean?
We did try a few things on them. We tried just scrubbing them. We tried the barkeeper's friend. We tried like soapy water.
But sometimes what you need to do is just get a new one.
Oh, it's so
Look
shiny.
at how white that is. Look at it against my tan skin.
It's camouflaged. I can't see it.
You can see some of the tricolor. Anyway, I'm going to install this. Now, isn't that nicer?
Now we have to clean the entire cockpit so it looks as good as that winch handle holder. With the rain holding off, we did some jellyfish spotting in the marina and came across this amazing compass jellyfish. As you can imagine, Yui didn't take too kindly to it. What's the matter? Don't like the jellyfish. It's gone now. Intrigued by the sounds of pipes and drums, we joined the crowds to watch the 12th of July parades, which celebrate the victory of William of Orange over James II at the Battle of the Boyne in 1690. We couldn't stay too long. More boat jobs awaited us before we could leave Bangor and head north.
More jobs in Bangor. Whilst the parade is continuing over there somewhere, Yui doesn't like that because it bangs the drums and I guess the flutes are really high pitched for her. So she just tries to run away, bless her. So no more parades for us. But what's today's job, Faye?
We are putting self-amalgamating tape around the mast boat.
What are we doing that for?
Because every time it rains we get soaked in the saloon.
We get soaked. So hopefully this self-amalgamating tape will stop the water from going down here and then into the saloon underneath. This is self-amalgamating tape, so it doesn't stick to the mast, it sticks to itself. So apparently if we stretch it and stick it onto itself, it will chemically bond through magic and chemistry and form a waterproof seal. But we don't quite trust it, and there are some kind of tiny gaps that I can see. So our friend silicone grease, which our previous owner Peter left us, will also play a role in this as well. So we're going to get this done, and then tonight it's going to rain, so we'll be able to test straight away whether or not it's worked.
Woo!
Well, it's raining again. And we've got water coming down the mast. Furling clutch update. It has been pissing down in Bangor for the last forever. And not a drop has come through the hull or through the deck into down below. So I think that's a job well done. It's Sunday morning, still in Bangor, still doing boat jobs, and I'm in the dinghy because this morning we're going to tend to quite a sensitive problem. Reach Out has a crusty bottom. Have a look. There's lots of algae along the waterline and it's growing tentacles, roots, stuff like that. So that needs to be sorted out because it slows us down. It looks unsightly, and quite frankly, if you had that hanging off your bottom, you'd want some help. Oh yeah, good old boat oar. You've just got to keep scraping and keep scraping and keep scraping. And it does come off, although it is crafty because it floats off and tries to stick to somewhere else. I think it's got a mind of its own. Anyway, for now I've got 82 feet of scrubbing to do. And welcome back to another episode of Bottom Scrapers. You can see here, nicely scraped bottom. And then here, oh, this bottom needs a good scrape. Almost there, happy to say.
Rob is removing the bowlines from the clew of the Genoa because Peter, who used to own this boat, spotted something in one of our videos. He spotted that on our furling drum down here, when it's all filled up, there should be more line around the drum. Ours was completely empty, so we are going to fix that today. So thank you, Peter.
So now the sail, the Genoa, is fully furled, but there are 6 or 7 wraps there. Well, there's actually 8 wraps around the furling drum with the furling line, which spreads the load and assists with furling the Genoa under tension as well. So that was actually a really easy boat job for once.
High five.
Thanks, Peter, much appreciated, mate.
The glamorous life of owning a boat. What are we doing today?
Are you ready for your injection? We are cleaning the fuel tank a bit. So we've had problems with the fuel tank, been well documented. So we think it's with the fuel system. The tank condition itself is actually really good considering the age of the boat, although there is a bit of that diesel bug that I mentioned in there in the bottom.
Let's see if I can keep talking.
So basically we are looking to take out all of that black gunk.
You only really see like the specks at this angle, but there's some nice big chunks further in.
And if you look at like the bottom of this now, look at that, that was all in the tank. And we've got to take it out painstaking syringe by painstaking syringe. It's a lot more physically exerting than I expected. Like pulling this syringe and filling it with the diesel and stuff and then pushing it out is actually hard work. So getting a bit of a workout, which is good. But yeah, just doing our bit here to try and, you know, reduce the chances of the engine cutting out again. So ideally what we'd like to do is like take all the fuel out and polish all the tanks to, you know, really remove all the gunk. But as we're on the move, that's not really an option. We've got half a tank of diesel in there at the moment, and we've got at least another 500 miles to go. So this is a good stopgap.
Yes.
So this will hopefully make a difference. Wow. I'd say we've got about 80% of what was in there, so I'll take that. This is all dead diesel bug, and yeah, clogging up your engine if you're not careful. So happier that it's in the bottle than in the tank. Now, this is bloody awful stuff. But yeah, I am absolutely knackered now.
Me too. Should we go to Asda?
Yes.
Good morning from Bangor. The big news on Reach Out this morning is that
We've run out of Yorkshire tea, and you can't buy Yorkshire tea in Northern Ireland, it would seem.
this is a crisis.
It is a crisis. But they do sell tea, they have tea.
It's just not Yorkshire tea.
But the biggest selling tea in Northern Ireland is Thompson's Punjana.
It's good tea. It's not Yorkshire tea, but it's still good tea. It finally happened. After 3 weeks waiting for storms to pass and parts to be delivered, we were on the move again. And it's safe to say we were very happy about it. Join us next week when we anchor overnight in Glenarm before crossing the North Channel to Port Ellen in Islay. Until then, fair winds.